Hey guys, so I'm actually redoing this intro because the first time I did it was really awkward because I'm not used to reading video scripts. But I think it's going to help a lot with my videos being more precise and more organized. So I'm still practicing, but throughout the video, I really get the ball rolling. So I'm redoing the first 3 to 5 minutes just because it sucked before. And then as you get through the rest of the video, it's going to get better and better. Who is this video for? This video is for sincere truth seekers who have the desire and willingness to put in the work to create better lives. This video is an alignment filter to see who would be good candidates to be a part of my team. I am looking for both people to be a part of my online groups and also travel with me in real life. I live a nomadic, community-based lifestyle. I have been nomadic since 2021, starting off in an old, small Hyundai Elantra. And then over the last several years, I've lived in several different cars and vans. I have done plenty of solo traveling around the country and have also lived in group settings several times. I have street performed in several cities and even at one time in front of several hundred people. Those experiences really helped me to develop my confidence, and I've learned that it's great for marketing and meeting people to street perform. I've had many experiences and have learned and grown a lot as a result over the last several years of my nomad lifestyle. And so I am passionate, driven, optimistic about the future. I practice serious self-honesty, and I'm always looking to discover more about myself to improve my life. My mindset and worldview has been developed through experience and lots of deep reflection. I have practiced serious self-inquiry, questioning everything in order to make sure what I believe is intentionally thought through. What has fueled me in my life is seeing the impact I can have on other people's lives. My motivation to become the best I can is so that I can become more capable of adding value to other people's lives, which is what fulfills me the most. My goal is to produce the biggest possible positive impact in society that I can. I can see life. I can see life so much better than. I can. Here's the awkward script reading. I'm like, I lost the flow for a second because I wrote it awkward. I can see life so much better than what most can imagine, and I have the determination to make it a reality. In fact, this is the only thing that I'd ever care to do in my life. It's basically mandatory because I'm really sensitive and I can't handle living in disharmony. So I'm always trying to fix and improve everything around me. So if society itself is disharmonious, then I'll have to create my own society. My own community away from cities where I can raise my children and live out my old age in peace. What I'm currently doing in my journey is preparing to focus on networking, community building, and event organizing for the summer of 2026. I'm not looking to have silly little drum circles. I'm looking to develop professional drum circles all over the country, encouraging proper practice and technique. You don't have to have any experience. You can be pretty good in just a few months of practice. It's just most people don't know how to practice effectively, and that's why there's people who play for years and still aren't good. Okay, now I'm just going to go back into the original video. And it might be a little not flowy for like 1 to 3 more minutes, but then it's going to get a lot better, so just don't skip the whole video just because awkward for a minute or two, please. This is really good stuff. I want you to hear it. And I'm going to get better at reading these scripts over time. I'm just used to freestyling it. So, thanks. Then I have hand drum example 1, hand drum example 2. Links of videos, I'll put it in the description in the comments. How things currently look. Right now, I'm in this house hoping I'm going to get a van next week. And if I don't, then it's going to be like 3 months. If I get a van next week, then I'm going to be leaving right away. Probably go to Nashville or something. And so, assuming I'm in the van, what it normally looks like is this. I'll be sleeping in the van in areas with good Uber Eats and making food in the parks, making food at parks in the morning, and focusing on doing the diet really well. Also going to the gym. I'll be recording and writing content daily. I take a nap every day in the middle of the day. I go to open mic jams and I drum on the street. I also go to slackline and acro yoga groups. Even if there's roller skating groups, I'll go to roller skating groups. I haven't really found any, but it's something I've wanted to do. Occasionally going on dates from dating apps. Okay, so now is mainly a waiting period. Here, I'll go into more detail on the daily life really quick. Yeah, so it's like I'll wake up in the morning, I'll check my phone, but then I'll get out and then I'll Not get out. Sorry, I got distracted. Um, I'll wake up. I get in the driver's seat, warm up the car, and then drive to a nearby park where I found electricity and there's water. That way I can make my food. That takes about an hour or two. And then, well, depending on what I'm doing, I might deliver first thing in the morning before I make my food. I might deliver for a few hours and then go to the park and make my food. And at the park, I'll be making lubrication from one of those milkshakes, maybe coconut cream, vegetable juice, all the recipes, and my pate and the sauce. And then I'll have a cooler with ice in the car and I have to buy ice once a day. Or if it's the summer, I have to buy ice twice a day. And in my free time, I'm either working on my computer, scrolling on my phone, which I'm trying to do less, or I'll be playing, practicing the hand drums. Or I'll be stretching, meditating, or I'll be I'll be in nature, meditating and walking and stuff. And so right now is mainly about saving money and doing Uber Eats. That way I can get a new car if one breaks down. I always want to have like 5K saved so that if my van breaks down again, then I can just get a new car because I'm tired of having to come back to my mom's unwillingly because of cars breaking down. Really quick detour, like 30 to 60 seconds. The last year I tried to make money in Southern Florida. It didn't work out and I was kind of stuck and couldn't leave. And then I tried to do it in Southern California. I also couldn't make money there with Uber Eats and I was stuck and I couldn't leave immediately. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Nashville. And then I went to Nashville. Then my car broke down. And then I didn't have any money saved to fix it. So it's not that I haven't been working. It's just that I don't call it bad luck. I just see it as it is. Part of my life for whatever reason. It's part of the growth process. Right now I want to save my money so I don't have to deal with this shit again. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get into any situations where I'm stuck and can't leave. Because I've done that multiple times where I commit to something and now I can't leave and it's not working. And then I can't make any money, so I can't take care of myself. So this time I'm only going to go places where my money is guaranteed and I'm not going to commit to anything or anybody who's going to like hold me from being able to take care of myself. And so like previously I had different gigs and different stuff I was trying to do. It didn't work out. And so now it's like, okay, I need to save this money. I'm going to go to Nashville, even if it's cold, and grind this money out. Or find somewhere in Florida that's warm where I can make money. And so look, right now it's about saving my money so I don't have to run back to my mom's again because I don't have a car. And I need somewhere to stay, right? Okay. So right now it's about grinding the food deliveries to make money, studying astrology while I'm driving, and practicing the drums a little bit, doing the diet while going to the gym. Okay. Now next summer, 2026, I'm going to be going out constantly to meet people and socialize. I'm going to go to all the open mics. I'm going to go to the farmer markets. I'm going to have that little business card that you tap on the phone and it's like a tap to pay, but it shows them your Instagram. And I'm just going to literally go talk to 100 people a day and tell them about my social media and invite them to a weekly event that I'm going to organize. I'm going to have multiple weekly events most likely. There's going to be a drum circle every week. It's free. You can only play at the drum circle if you are qualified. If you are not good, you aren't allowed to play at my drum circle. If you aren't good, I will teach you for free, and you will be good enough to play in the drum circle in 2 to 6 weeks. So there will be meetups to learn drums, to practice, and then there will be a drum circle that's only for qualified people. I will have groups to meet up to teach people, but if I'm playing in front of people in public, then you have to be qualified. And I'll be giving free drum lessons. And then I might also host morning sunrises or evening sunsets, sun gazing meditation groups. Especially if I'm living on the beach, I'll probably be doing something like that, which is where I might go live. East Coast, we'll see. And I'll just be marketing the event, going out all day every day to talk to people and invite them to my event. And then so here's the goal. I want to get at least 5 to 10 people to meet up every week. And I want these people to be serious about practicing the drums. It's like, okay, 5 people might be drummers and 5 people might just be people who want to hang out and dance and have fun, right? So I need at least 5 people in a city to be serious about practicing the drums every day, and they're going to get really good. And so I meet 5 people. It's only going to take about 2 or 3 months for them to get pretty good, right? You can get good really fast if you practice with me. You practice right. And so the goal is to organize a drum circle, and then once it's organized, leave, and then do it again in another city. And then go city to city to city to city to city to city, organizing drum circles in every city, so that no matter where you live in the country, after I do this for 5-10 years, no matter where you are, there's going to be drum circles that are actually good. And so um and also meditation groups. That the only meditation groups I can find. Okay, I'm kind of freestyling this video now, which is good. I'll read this still, but most of the most of the meditation groups, it's like a full moon cacao ceremony, and they use singing bowls, and it costs $60. And I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $60 to drink some fake raw pasteurized cacao and sit next to a singing bowl inside of your studio with a bunch of strangers who don't know each other. I would pay monthly to be part of a deep, meaningful community, yes, but I'm not going to pay to go to this once a month class of people who don't even know each other, right? So it's overpriced events and very amateur. It's hard to find anything meaningful to attend, almost everywhere in the country, that is. And so I spend a lot of time at home or in my van when I'm traveling. Like, I want to meet people, and there's nothing to do. I'm scrolling on Facebook events. I'm like, is there anything to do? I look at Eventbrite and all these websites and meetup.com and all these websites. It's like, there's no meaningful events. I'll have to plug in my laptop. One second. There's no meaningful events. Everything is like either expensive and paid. And here's the thing, if I go to that event and I pay for it, it's still probably going to be trash, right? And so I'll be going out constantly to these events and like usually meet nobody because it's super shallow. It's surface level. Nobody there even knows each other, and there's no meaning to it. It's like I might be able to find a farmer market to go to, but you can't even talk to anybody at the farmer market unless you're spending money. It's just like, why can't I just come meet people? Like, why is everything paid? And then it's like, I might, if I'm really lucky, I might find a drum circle, and it might be okay, but it might also just be a bunch of weird people who have never practiced the drums, and it sounds really bad, and it's just super awkward, and it feels like we're bothering everybody around us. And so every once in a while there's a good drum circle, but it's really rare, and it's usually only once a month, and that really bothers me because I love the drums and I play every day. Why aren't we meeting every day? Or at least every week? So I want to fix that. And so like I want to travel around the country, and I want there to be awesome things to do constantly, and I'm going to be really focused on growing the social media. So I want to travel around I want to travel around the country, constantly attending awesome events and meeting people from social media and in real life at these events. And I'm just a very social person, and that's what I want to create. So I want to be able to go around and meet lots of people and have fun, right? And so I have to create this if I'm going to do it because it doesn't exist. So if you want to do this, then let's do this. And so I go into explaining it's difficult to find sincere spiritual seekers, dedicated musicians. Really, it's hard to find people to hang out with in general, especially talented people. They exist, but they are alone at home with no network to connect with. That is what I want to create, an organization that connects people who aspire to live their best lives. I will be networking, constantly meeting people, and developing relationships and centering all around my mission. I will go city to city until I have established a meaningful community in every major city in the United States. Community development. On social media, I am working to grow and develop relationships with my audience. I want to promote Primal Diet Living and teach music, meditation, and Vedic astrology. I am going to drum circles and open jams in every city I visit. Okay, I already kind of talked about this. Already went over all this. Street performing is a really easy way to meet people. I want to have 1, 2, 3 friends that I'm traveling with, whether guys or girls, and I want them to be serious about practicing the drums, and then we go street perform. We go play in public, and it's going to be awesome because it's going to sound amazing, and people are going to love it. I get constant compliments almost every time I play. People usually love it, and people thank me for playing, and people just want to come up and record me and dance. And if I have people to play with me, it will be even better. And you can get good enough to sound good with me in only maybe like a few weeks of practice. You can do something cool with me, and people are absolutely going to love it, and we're going to inspire and uplift everybody around us. And it's going to be really cool, and we can have a sign next to our drums with our social media, so when they record us, they can find us. So, and then, go through that. And so another thing I want to do is paid ads for Instagram. And I've only tested this a little bit, but I'm excited to try it for real. So if I make $20 an hour in Uber Eats, let's just say I'm going to spend $20 a day on paid ads for Instagram. Now, I can pick men or women and the age 18 to 25 within 10 miles of my location. And so like if I'm putting $20 a day, $600 a month, a lot of people are gonna see my content. If I do a very small area, like okay, if you're doing the whole country, like okay, how many people are gonna see it? But if you literally did like within like 5 or 10 miles of where you are, then it's like everybody in town is gonna see your thing. I see people's ads all the time for local stuff, and it's usually really shitty. Um, like there's a gym or there's whatever, and there's like, I see these ads, and so I'm like, if I do a really, really, really good video of a really awesome party and it looks super professional and it's outdoor at the park and it's all young people and everybody looks good, it's not weird people, it's like people who like they care about the way they look, they're taking care of their health, and they are just a healthy group of people. And if you see that on a video, it's like if I saw that, I'd be like, that looks like so much fun, I want to meet these people. Oh, there's cute girls, I want to go meet them, right? So if I get a video of me with 5 friends, a few guys, a few girls, and I'm drumming, and it's like free event at this park that's just down the street from your house, it's like 10 minutes away, every Saturday at 10 a.m., like, you know what the conversion rate on that would be? It'd be probably pretty high. It's like I target people who are 18 to 25. The people in the video are 18 to 25. And like we look good and we sound super good. It's free at the park, and they go there anyway, to that park, right? Because they just so yeah, I'm like, damn, 1 hour of work a day for Uber Eats in order to pay for the ads. Now this is the thing. Am I going to go socialize for 5 hours a day and try to meet people? Or am I going to do Uber Eats for 5 hours a day and spend $100 in paid ads? I'll probably meet more people with the paid ads. So I'm really excited to experiment with this when I'm in the position to organize my next event. And I have people to make a marketing video with and, so I have to like get 4 or 5 people to like create a mock event with me and then record it. And then, lots of people start coming. And so if you want to travel with me, Uber Eats is how we're going to make our money. You can make good money with Uber Eats. It's not difficult and it's stress-free. Like in Nashville, you could be making like $1,000 a week working full-time. And so, but you're going to have car repairs. So you might be like $800 a week, $900 a week if you're working like 40, 50 hours a week in Nashville during the summer and stuff. So, different times of the year pay different, but I'm going to have to go to places where the pay is good, and that's not going to be a problem to find. It just sometimes you have to try a few different cities. At the end of the day, the goal is to get 10 to 100 people to show up every week. Like, we could get 100 people to show up every week. That's totally possible if it goes really well, right? That way, no matter where someone is, they will be able to find a healthy community to be a part of, and no longer will people struggle to find healthy and meaningful connections. Communication. Okay, this is like relationship stuff. I do not withdraw. I prefer to talk through any problem the second either one of us becomes aware of one. I believe that many conflicts come from people assuming nothing will change or that it doesn't matter, so they end up not communicating, resentment builds until a fight happens. I live by knowing that at least I tried. That way my conscience is clear and that I did what I could to resolve things. So it's about don't assume the worst. That's like the most important thing. Don't assume the worst, like talk to them first. So to keep my peace during difficult times, what I have done is remind myself that as long as I've tried my best and done what I can, then I should leave the rest to fate. That goes into a relationship if I'm anxious about a girl, or if I'm having any situation in my life regarding anything, ever. As long as you've done what you can, worrying about it doesn't help at all, right? And so worrying about something you have no control over after you've done what you sincerely can doesn't help. Trying harder, getting anxious, desperate, and needy is rarely, if ever, effective. If a relationship becomes toxic, codependent, and limiting for our growth, I know that I will have to reevaluate the relationship for both of our best interests. It's not good for me to be in an unhealthy situation, and neither is it for you. If I am in a relationship where I am beginning to find myself getting angry often, that's a big sign I need to reevaluate if I should be with this person. I do not want to feel like I ever need to raise my voice. I want peace and inspiration, not someone to fight with. I think that's good to include still. Some people like want to fight. Actually, they might not admit that, but a lot of people do want somebody to fight with. A lot of people like to fight. I'm like, I don't want to fight unless we're sparring. And I'm not even getting into that right now. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. I'll do that in the near future though. But yeah, okay. Just because someone is struggling doesn't mean I am going to leave. If someone is struggling and they sincerely want help, if my presence, advice, and support is well received, I would absolutely want to stick around. If it becomes clear a relationship needs to end, I will honor what is shared. In regards to romantic relationships, just because a relationship ends doesn't mean it failed. It often just means the purpose was served. Some are meant to last a lifetime and some only last a few months or a few years. That is okay. The success of a relationship is not dependent on the length. I wouldn't call a 20-year marriage where they hated each other the entire time successful, even if they had kids. And if two people are together for a few months and then they realize they are not aligned and then they separate respectfully, then that relationship would actually have been very healthy. Because when they realized it wasn't aligned, they were honest about it, they talked about it, and then they mutually agreed that they should move on. It's not like, oh, you wasted my time. There's no like, oh, this person is fucked up, that's why it didn't work, or they weren't willing to try hard enough to force alignment. If anything, this is the type of relationship we need more than ever in the modern world. A relationship where we go through the stages and then once lack of alignment is realized, you respectfully resolve things. I don't mean try to fix it, I mean move on. Spiritual alignment. Before I get into this, let me say that you do not have to be at the same place I am right now. You have to be at the exact same place. If you want to be a part of my life, I just need you to be ready to show up and meditate with me and be open to talking, discussing ideas, and really thinking deeply. Understanding karma and spiritual development is the foundation of my lifestyle. So this is where I sit with my worldview, my mindset. Karma is essentially the measurement of the development of your soul. It shapes who you are and the life you live. Every moment is the unfolding of karma and the creation of new karma. How karma is determined is through the nature of actions. The actions you take mold who you are, how you feel, what experiences you're going through, and where you are in life. You judge decisions based on the intention and the driving action. You don't measure it on the result, you measure on the reason you took them, given the information you had. If you intended to cause harm to someone, it's automatically bad. If you take an action from a place of desperation, lack of clarity, anger, that also negatively affects you. Not because it is morally bad, but because by doing things that aren't aligned, you regress energetically. The energy of your will, what you experience, stores inside of you and becomes what you are. That, facilitated by the law of attraction, attracts, creates, manifests, forms the life you're living. Two people could be in the same situation but feel and experience it completely differently. So karma isn't just about where you are, but what you are, how you experience, where you experience it from. Our spiritual development is about clearing our inner reality, and then as a reflection of our inner state, we begin to match it to our outer reality. Many spiritual seekers neglect the external, but fail to realize that what the external is, or they fail to realize that, oops, this is a typo. They fail to realize that the external is just as equal as the internal. It is still all only God. I see everyone as part of the same consciousness. My inner work and outer work aren't separate. Everything is spiritual. As I grow, and that includes your clothes, your money, the table in front of you, your shoes, your bedroom, the feng shui, the vastu, the setup of your home, where you're at in the environment, everything. The inside just slowly unfolds into the outside. You know, it's like you got your mind, you have your body, you have what's on the outside of your body. You know, you have your inner health, you have what you put on your body, where your body is. You know, it's all still God, because everything external is also internal. And the internal is reflected externally because we're God living the dream of itself. Kind of like that. So like if I'm having a dream, and in my dream there's something like there's a shoe in my dream. I'm dreaming about there's a shoe on the ground. The image of the shoe on the ground is still in my mind. It's coming from my generation. I'm creating that dream. So it's kind of like the same principle. God is creating this dream. It's called the Maya, the veil of illusion. It's the dream that you don't know you're in. It's not a lucid dream. If you become lucid in this reality, then you become enlightened. And then you basically enter into that God consciousness while you're still inside the body. So The spiritual development is basically about becoming lucid in this dream, the Maya. As I grow, the environment around me will naturally reflect my new inner clarity through indirect manifestation, but also by me being able to communicate my new clarity and heal people to the degree in which I myself am clear. You can't take someone deeper than you currently are, so helping yourself is absolutely essential to actually being able to help others. To clarify, a more difficult external environment does not automatically mean you regressed internally. Sometimes it's part of the detoxification process of karma. Meaning, just because you lost money doesn't mean you went backwards spiritually. And just because you made money doesn't mean you've developed spiritually. And so when I say as a person, I'm generally referring to as a soul, not as your identity or your ego. So when I say just because you make money doesn't mean you've grown as a person, you can make money doing something that doesn't result in you improving as a person. You can make money doing bullshit. You spent your time doing something where you weren't learning anything, you weren't growing, you weren't even helping anybody. So just because you made money doesn't mean you've grown. Okay? As a soul. And, there's a lot of philosophy in all this. I believe that money should be made with through pure avenues to the best of our abilities, and to be honest with ourselves about the nature of what we're actually doing. What is this development that I am even talking about? Through sadhana, spiritual practice, you enhance your perception. You see new things, you experience the world more clearly, you feel new sensations, notice new phenomena you were once unaware of. You feel the interconnectedness of everything, and that results in a sense of peace and knowing. So, what is sadhana? The ancient spiritual training system primarily based on yoga. Yoga is not just stretching and booty shorts. It is an advanced system described by ancient religious texts from the East, primarily India. It is the science of the human body on the energetic level. You become aware of the energy systems in the body and learn how to control and use these energies. You become capable of not only feeling these energies in yourself, but also outside of yourself. And once you start feeling, it doesn't stop there. Your understanding of these energies grows with time, where year after year, your perception of reality deepens. It's not about learning facts of the universe, but developing the perspective from which you experience it. With the understanding of this, how I make my decisions is based on developing clarity inside of myself and trusting my instincts. Sometimes it can be hard to tell whether something you feel is based on fear, conditioning, or habit, or if it's actually true instinct and intuition. Regardless of the source of the feeling itself still has relevance. Even if someone's bad feeling is the result of trauma, projection, conditioning, habit, it doesn't mean that they should ignore it, because then it will never be healed. In order to understand the true nature of why we feel how we feel, we must meditate, take care of our health, and prioritize environments that bring us clarity. If you are not clear inside of yourself, how can you see anything else clearly? Vice versa. I have a very important rule for myself. Never do something that I know is wrong. But then how do I know what is actually wrong? You might believe something's wrong because your parents or society taught you that it was, but it might not actually be wrong. First, you must analyze why you believe what you believe. If you say, I don't know, then you need to seriously think about it. That is the only way you can live intentionally. You must understand why you believe what you believe and why you feel how you feel. To actually answer how to determine if something is right or wrong, you have to meditate on it and see deep down, how does it feel? How does it truly feel? When you clear your mind and you ponder on it and you put your attention on it for a long period, that what you think it feels, how you think it feels, you realize a deeper nature of it. You go deeper into the question. You create a mental inquiry, and then you meditate on it, and then you receive answers. And the clarity of the answer is dependent on the clarity of you. Clearing the mind, making sure that your nutrition is good in that moment, you're not protein deficient, you're not on too much sugar, that your activity hormones have been utilized, you are in perfect homeostasis. Now meditate. After you ate, stretched, and exercised, meditate when you're in perfect homeostasis. Have the mental inquiry, and then meditate on this feeling. The inquiry could be a feeling. How do I feel about this? You might say I'm fine, or I feel good about it, but then you meditate on it for 30 minutes and you're like, actually, no, I shouldn't be doing this. So that's how you actually practically be honest with yourself. You need to follow this meditation structure. I teach it in my other videos. Look at my how to meditate videos. If you take an action without understanding why, then you are promoting ignorance and lack of clarity in yourself. That is living unconsciously. Being guided by clear emotions is living in alignment. But being guided by unconscious and not understood emotions is a recipe for chaos. The reason I follow the Primal diet is because I want clarity and energy. The reason I like to sleep earlier is because I wake up most energized and am the most productive daily if I get a full night of rest before the sun rises. I meditate because that is how I understand myself and solve my problems. Everything I do, I try to do it intentionally. For example, if you're going to scroll on your phone, it should be because you chose to do it, not because you felt the impulse and then blindly followed it. Scrolling on the phone is chasing that impulse of trying to find something to do, which is really generally not a good thing to do. But if you're going to do it, it should be because you chose to sit down and scroll on your phone, not because you did it without thinking about it. Very important. If I'm going to check my notifications, it should be not because I'm bored, I want to find something to do, let me look at my phone. It should be, okay, what's productive right now? Okay. I could work on the script on my phone. I could see if I have any messages on Discord to reply to. Instagram DMs, not as important. I could still check that. Okay, do I have any notifications? Like, it shouldn't just be like, Discord, is there any messages? Okay, go to Instagram, is there any... And just go back and forth between all the apps. Like, scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on Facebook, and then scrolling on YouTube over and over. Like, that's just being mindless. Okay. So, where do relationships fit into this? Everything I do is part of spiritual development, like I said. There is nothing that isn't deeply spiritual. The experience of relationships is simultaneously acting out a relationship inside of yourself. You treat other people based on your own internal relationships. When I am with a girlfriend and we break up and some time passes and I meet a new girl, it just feels like an extension of the same relationship, same girl in a different body. It is the relationship inside of my consciousness with all people that carries over from person to person. A relationship with someone else is a relationship with part of yourself. In reality, it's all God, right? So it's all you anyway. But on a psychological perspective, it accesses a certain part of your brain. People access different parts, and it's kind of connected to the archetype of this type of person. And then this person reminds you of this person, and this person reminds you of this person. And when you meet a lot of people, there's different types of people that you see that are very similar, copied and pasted. And it's like, oh, this is like this guy. Oh, I know what kind of person this is. I've met 3 people like him. They all have the same similar vibe, you know. And when I do that, it's like I'm developing a relationship with that type of person. And as I develop it, it develops with all those types of people. And so by meeting more people, I can connect to different parts of myself. Because it's not just that person inside my brain. It is... Well, I'll just pause there. It is... how you treat people is largely how you treat yourself. How you feel about yourself. Treat people the way you want to be treated. What if you're self-sabotaging and you believe that you don't deserve anything good in your life because you have low self-esteem or something? Well, then you're going to treat people like that. Like they don't deserve anything. So it goes hand in hand. So you want to feel better about yourself, treat other people better. You want to treat other people better, treat yourself better. It goes hand in hand. The external, internal, it's the same thing. So having another person with you engages, stimulates you, and allows you to work on a different part of yourself that they reflect. Okay. I wrote that a little differently. Having another person that engages... Okay. I need to edit this. Having another person with you engages, stimulates, and allows us to work on the parts of ourselves that they reflect. I enjoy living with my partner on a shared routine. I prefer to be in a relationship with a woman. I prefer to have a woman around. I still value male friends, but what I really desire is a relationship with a woman and friends. But that's kind of like the priority. I prefer to have women to sleep with, people to make food and eat with, to meditate with, to make content with, to play music with. I also grow the most by being in relationships. All my greatest developments as a person have resulted from relationships. And so, as my spiritual development, I like to do my spiritual practice with other people. I like to do the diet with other people. I like to do everything I do with other people. And then I like to go on walks by myself occasionally, or maybe even daily. But I like to have, like, on a daily basis, like, live with people. I still want to have my own alone time, but, like, even if I don't live with them, even if they live, like, close by, I still want to see them every day. Almost every day. Some people I might see once, twice a week, but I want to have friends that are part of my daily life. In my relationships, I value, this includes friendships, I value the attitude of optimism, of never giving up, of trying to learn from failures, and trying to see the deeper spiritual meaning for why anything happens, whether it's good or bad. It is very important that the people around me have genuine desires to learn and grow, to understand themselves, to be their best, and set high but reasonable goals. I love to ask questions to better know somebody, especially the type of questions people have never asked themselves. I want to see your ability to think. I want to go into deep discussion. Interested, what next? Just reach out to me and we can get to know each other. If we feel aligned, we can start developing a relationship and start working together and meet up and hang out. And that's that video. So, if you watch this video this far, please leave your thoughts in the comments. If you want to hang out, hey, I just told you what's up, and this is what we'd be doing. And, I'm excited. I'm ready to do it with other people. So, you want the same things as me? Okay, let's do something.